Good afternoon, everybody. This is Read the Room Productions, hosted by yours truly, Andrew. And today I'm just going to be talking about the Oscars. So that's why it's called Oscar Edition, because we get into the Best Picture categories, including the ones that were snubbed that I wish could have been in it. And so I'm going to describe each and every one of those pictures that is nominated. And if you have seen those, let me know in the comments section below, and you can describe what you thought about it. And people who haven't seen it, if I say it's good, definitely check it out. If it's not good, well, that's up to you, because, there's no judgment on if the movie's bad or good. You can trust me, you don't trust me, but most likely I'm good at what I do. So up to you guys. All right, here we go. Let's start with the first Best Picture nominee. It is Anora. So this movie, it is directed by Sean Baker. And this movie is basically about a woman named Anora who's a stripper and basically meets a guy who's, part of like a high class. The parents are rich, and he basically meets her. She speaks a bit of Russian, and then it kind of turns into like a love kind of relationship-ish. But I don't want to get into too many details if you haven't seen the movie. The thing that was mixed about this movie is the way it kind of just had so much nudity, and to be honest, I'm just not a big fan of that stuff. And so if you, are kind of offended by that kind of stuff, then I don't recommend you watch this movie. But what I like about the storyline is it's based off of middle and high class kind of situation. So like imagine like you're a part of the middle class, wants to, leave your place, and imagine being with someone with high class. Can basically just say, well, now we don't have to worry about this stuff anymore. But the movie is interesting, excluding the nudity. So if you're interested, go check it out. Next, we got The Brutalist. So that is about the architecture who, during the post-war of Europe, he moves to America and he finds, places to, build houses and land for himself or his wife, just building a future. Like this is the kind of, this is the American dream. And so this movie I have not seen, but I'm hoping to see it as soon as possible. It is 3 hours and 35 minutes long. So, if I can handle Justice League's Snyder Cut, then I could definitely handle this. So go from there. Third, A Complete Unknown. So this movie was really excellent. It's got Timothée Chalamet in it. It's basically about the biopic of Bob Dylan. And there's a lot of famous musicians that were part of the Bob Dylan story. I can name you one of them was Johnny Cash. That was a really good story to hear about. Each of these musicians had their own fans to other musicians, and this one really did well. Timothée Chalamet crushed it. I'm going to give him props for that. And that's going to be one of my best pictures that I'm hoping that can win. Conclave. So this one's the Ralph Fiennes movie. So this one is about the Roman Catholic Church and some of these, people that work for the church. There's like the secrets to hide and stuff like that. I mean, people have told me when they come out of the theater, it leaves them with a lot of like, wow, I can't believe I saw this movie, and the ending of it was just really crazy. So I have to give this one a look on Peacock, and I've heard lots of interesting things about it, so I'll check it out. Dune Part 2, same movie with Timothée Chalamet in it, except the difference with this movie is it's a lot of action. It's a lot of cinematography, so much good, storyline. This movie, in my opinion, should win Best Picture, but I'm afraid they're not going to do that. But it was really good. I liked everything about this movie. If you haven't seen Dune Part 1, definitely see that, and then come see Part 2. But Part 2 is the best one, I believe, from my perspective on how I watch movies. So definitely check it out. Then we got Emilia Perez. So this movie, I watched it on Netflix. Unfortunately, this one I did not like because they went too political with this one. Like, they went a direction of like, okay, we've seen stories where, men turn to women, women to men. I'm like, okay, all right. I'm not trying to be the political bad guy here. It's just that I just don't think stories need to be told like that. And I mean, I watched it and there was just, there was a French director, had a lot of the, inaccuracies with the Mexico culture. And so I was like, that's so dumb that he didn't do his homework on that. And of course, they went into a musical route and I'm like, what the heck is this? So I just was like, no. I don't understand why it's nominated 13 times of this year's Oscars. Don't understand it. The audience score, and you look on there, it's like nobody really liked it. And so I don't understand. Maybe they'll change of heart and pick something else. I don't know. We'll see. I'm Still Here. So this movie is about the wife who finds out her husband's disappearance, but they have to stick together as a family to look for him. I've heard lots of interesting things about that. I would definitely want to go check that out soon. I'll have to see which streaming service it's on. And next one, we have Nickel Boys. So I've not seen Nickel Boys either, but I've heard it's about a guy named Curtis who basically ends up going to this reformatory school in Nickel Academy, and basically, he befriends somebody and helps him survive through this, mental institute, or the academy that is, make people see the ways of how the world really works. I'm going, whoa, this is interesting, but I'll check it out and see what it's about. Next, The Substance. So this one I really enjoyed, but I remember at the time I didn't like it because of the body horror stuff, but then I kind of look at it from a story perspective and I say to myself, whoa, that is really good. But unfortunately, for people who don't like body horror, I do not recommend this movie to everyone. But it's got an interesting storyline where it's kind of about, women's insecurities, women's kind of beauty, and just, the theme to this is to always find out from yourself. Love yourself. Don't try to change for other people, because I don't want anybody to change for themselves. I want them to love themselves for who they are, not be something to try to impress people. Not my thing. And that's it. That's all I could say for The Substance. And of course, finally, Wicked. And we all love Wicked. I really enjoyed the cinematography. The action was not bad, and I really did like the score. The score was really good. The music, you could never, not get that out of your head. There's so many songs I can just remember. Defying Gravity is definitely up there. There's just so many good songs. And so that's what I can say about Wicked. I'm a little disappointed that Dana Fox, who's from my area in Virginia, that she did not get a nomination for adapted screenplay, and I'm so disappointed. Dana, if you're watching this, I respect everything you do. Keep doing you. I enjoy your movies. I want to see more from them. So thank you so much, Dana. All right, that's it. That's for the Wicked movie. And so I just listed all the Best Picture nominations. And so I'm going to think of some snubs that did not make it. And I'll start with one, Sing Sing. In my opinion, it has a really good theme to this movie. I've said this in my review, where it is like Shawshank Redemption meets the theater program. But what's so amazing is this was a true story about these inmates that gathered together to do theater for the community. But it's a kind of good behavioral kind of situation. So I think it's a good way to give us a second chance at life. And that's what this kind of movie is. But it's either you're yourself or you're the character. And that's a perfect example of that. Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare. I like this movie. I wish it got recognized. Unfortunately, the Academy just didn't see that for some reason. I have no idea why they didn't like that. But it's a good movie. I believe it could have been up there, but unfortunately it did not. Strange Darling, my number one movie of 2024. I like the story where it goes back and forth in a different chronological order. And it was like watching a Tarantino film. I don't understand why they snubbed that. And that's just me, but unfortunately, it's not always going to go my way. So, oh well. All right, Furiosa. So this movie I really thought was well done, but a lot of people did not come to the theaters for this one. But I think it's a really good film. I think the cinematography is well done. The storyline's good. The action's great. People, I want you to see this movie. But if you're not into the whole violence and a whole, sort of old Western kind of dystopian kind of theme, then I wouldn't recommend that to anybody. Then Juror Number 2, the Clint Eastwood's final film. That's a really good story. I like that there's all these situations of what could have been, what did happen. So much in the trial that was really good. So if you haven't seen it, check it out. And that's it. That's my snubs. So if I had to pick one movie out of it, I would say Emilia Perez, Sing Sing would be my list in my nominations. And so, thank you so much, guys. This has been Read the Room Productions Oscar Edition. Please subscribe and follow to my channel. Ring the bell to get notified, and I will talk to you soon. And also, I am seeing the mystery movie tonight, so I am going to do a video for whatever movie they're going to show, and I will give you my non-spoiler review. All right, thank you so much, guys. Have a wonderful day. Take care.